The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, it's me. It's Nikki Glaser. Hi, welcome to the podcast, Nikki Glaser Podcast. Live to you. I did not do that the way I was supposed to, but I didn't listen to the song, you guys, and so I don't know what it is unless I need the song to cue me.
I can't do this without listening on the headphones. I feel crazy right now.
Really? You don't like it?
It's almost like having a conversation is foreign to me.
You don't like it, Raw Dog?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's in person for everyone listening.
This is
like we're in
wild.
LA, and so it's like it without the head. We don't need the headphones.
Yeah.
Because we.
I
are
almost
not
feel
on
like I
Zoom.
can't hear you because you're only talking through the air.
Oh my god!
And not through a wire.
Yeah, it is. Are we gonna be okay?
I like hearing my own voice.
It makes
too.
for a different podcast for sure. Well, like
Yeah.
not being on Zoom, but also not having the
Well-
headphones on. Whenever I don't have the headphones on for a conversation, I'm like, oh, we always get like deeper. But then sometimes having the
Oh.
headphones on make you more professional because you can hear yourself and you're like, I'm on the radio right now.
Right,
And I'm
right.
hearing my voice and I'm feeling like I'm on NPR. Are we good? And so yeah, it's put them on if you want, but like.
No, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna-
keep them off
Oh,
and see how
cool.
it goes.
Yeah, no,
you know?
honestly,
God.
you're killing it right now.
What if,
I'm
what if
playing
us three put them on?
See the difference. No, you know what I'll do? I'll put it on halfway through the podcast and see.
Okay, yeah,
see
maybe
how it
after a
changes.
break.
Yeah.
Andrew Collin is here. Hello,
Yo,
Andrew.
what's up, everyone?
Welcome
And
back.
How's everyone doing out there?
The last
Thanks for following up with my
days
career.
as a bachelor.
Yeah, I'm getting married on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, the
Sorry,
boys,
Tom.
the girls,
Sorry, everyone.
So your venue was destroyed by the hurricane, and then you got a new one.
by a
It's-
tornado.
By a tornado.
Actually.
It's
yeah.
not a hurricane. Like
Yeah.
Sean O'Connor's also here, by the way. I want to set the table. Hi, Sean.
Hi, how are you? No, I want to
didn't-
hear about this.
I know. It's so funny that everyone's like, "Are you okay from the hurricane?" And you go, "Yeah, we're fine." But a tornado got us.
Yeah. No, it was an earthquake. No, it's insane, dude. So the hurricane was supposed to be a Category 5, which is
Yeah.
the biggest hurricane.
Yeah. Meteorologists were sobbing.
Florida was gone.
about
Yeah.
the end of Florida.
Yeah, that guy was crying. Did you see
Yeah, it
him
was
crying?
really.
Yeah.
He
He's
must
like,
feel really done.
My
right
house.
now.
I think he was just sad about his house. but so it's gonna
He
like
said about spring break plans. Yeah.
he was gonna ride
Fort
the bull
Myers, yeah.
in Panama City. he's like the bull. Okay, anyhow, so it's gonna be a huge hurricane, gonna ruin everything. I'm getting married there. I got the venue. It was the end of hurricane season
What part
ends
of
in
Florida?
November.
Just Vero Beach, right?
Vero Beach, Florida, which is on
which
the
side?
East Coast.
Okay. Was
The
that
hur-
where it was getting hit though?
No, it was getting hit on the west side.
Okay, so you felt safe already.
Yeah,
Kinda,
I
but
know enough where
also,
I'm like,
Asheville was so inland. No one thought that was gonna get fucked up.
that is true. Yeah, so we
anything
definitely
can happen.
And knowing my luck, I'm for sure this wedding's not
Yeah.
happening. And so the hurricane, before it even hits, they have like outer bands and a tornado, an F4 tornado, which Florida never gets hit with tornadoes.
Yeah.
Went right through Vero.
Oh my god.
Right through the backyard
God.
of where I'm getting married, dude.
Oh my
So we were
God.
gonna ride off on a houseboat, like just married. My buddy Rusty, his younger brother Ryan.
Is that a guy
There you
married
go.
to Lana Del Rey?
He's gonna give you a fucking gator tour.
It's his nephew.
for
Yeah,
your honeymoon.
yeah, just some teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the tornado. The boat we're gonna go on, the houseboat, gets picked up by the
What?
tornado
Oh my God.
and thrown from Rusty's parents' house into Rusty's street, which is 1,000 yards
Oh
away.
my God.
So he's walking out, and he's
Where
like,
was he during it? Was he sheltered?
He was in his house, but he started walking around for a second.
Of course he did.
Yeah, of course, just to see
Florida
the tornado
man.
up
He
front.
is Florida man.
Yeah.
Well, he grabbed the surfboard and wanted to ride the tornado for a little while.
Right, the tornado.
So cowabunga. So he goes and he's walking and he's like, why is a mobile home on my street? He's like, I've never seen a mobile home. And he gets closer. He's like, I recognize this debris
Oh my
from
God.
the inside of my brother's houseboat.
Whoa.
Wow.
Flew all the way. Yeah. So the best part, I can't say it.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to say it. No one
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The
Okay, so we're back
I
because
went
we
like-
cut that whole part because Andrew just revealed something that would never make it on a podcast. I mean, actually, if it were up to Andrew, it would have gone through.
Yeah.
I don't think
He's
I would have
just
gotten a
copping up
text
to some
later on.
crimes. Leaving trail of evidence behind.
So you missed a great thing that just occurred, but okay.
DM me, I'll let you know.
Yeah, that's
really-
the rule. DM
yeah.
Andrew and
Unless
he'll
you're
tell
in
you.
the FDA or whatever.
Whatever. You know what? I said I didn't do taxes for a long time. Whatever.
And that never caught up to
Who
you.
calls you in this scenario? Like,
Rusty the third.
and how does he break this news? Like, because like
He
as
broke
a
it
guy,
so quick. Dude, he called me tornado. I don't even think touched yet. He's like, can't do it. Can't do it at my parents. Can't do it.
Dying for this
Dude,
out.
he was dying because he's divorced with 9 kids from 9 different women, and they all hate him. And he's like, "You don't deserve love." I should have went like that when I said that. That's between us. No, he's very nice to open, and his parents were very nice. But
So now there's a new venue.
the new venue we got for a tornado fire sale, we got the hotel that we wanted to do the wedding at before, and now we could take an outside vendor in for the only time ever.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
blessing in disguise.
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
This
It's
is going to be way
indoors.
better.
So it's outdoors on the beach.
Nice.
This is way better than Rusty's houseboat.
Oh my God! Did you and Brenna? You were scared for a little bit for that day, or like a couple days. You were like stressing out.
We didn't have a venue.
And then when you found out you got that booking, were you so excited? Did you like dance around your apartment? Like,
Yeah.
what was the vibe? Because I know that you guys were so nervous.
I mean,
It's a week away.
look, I'd get married at an Arby's. You know, like
Yes.
I am very chill like that to the point where I'm surprised she wants to marry me. But she was, insanely.
attract.
Yeah. She was insanely excited. I mean, this is the venue we wanted the whole time.
That's so good.
It just
I'm
took
so
a tornado
glad.
and like 45 people dying for us to get it. So it's
How many people died? Do we know? I feel like
30.
30.
I don't know. Actually, there was one development that got.
Oh boy!
and this is just in Vero Beach, right? There's not just 30.
in general.
in
from
general.
the storm.
30
I think,
people have ever died.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
It was just a coincidence.
30 people crushed by the houseboat.
Now,
I mean, the house plane.
my mom lives in Port St. Lucie, which is like probably really close.
Oh wait, yes,
Yeah.
Port
yeah,
St. Lucie.
did she get?
She said there was tornadoes everywhere.
Yeah, my dad's
God.
house almost got hit by a different.
Now,
tornado.
but really, does Florida get tornadoes like historically at all?
Historically, not really.
They do now.
Yeah, I know.
They
we caught
moved there
up.
too. They're retiring. Climate change is just different weather systems, like getting old and moving south.
Yeah, I mean, no, and there's no. The scary part, there's no basements, and like you're from. Well, you lived in Indiana. You have basements if there's tornadoes, right? So it's like.
Yeah.
I guess I lived in a basement apartment, so I was really covered.
I get nervous about tornadoes with my parents in the Midwest. I just look at all these like huge trees and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm just a tree collapsing on their house. I think they'd be safe because they live in like a basement, and my mom will like make my dad drive up to the grocery store up the street to like go in a parking garage that's really protected. So they're very cautious, but like, those trees, when I see those trees when it's just like a
they fall
storm, I'm
over.
like, how do they stay up?
Just uprooting something that's been around for 500 years and just like throwing it.
Crazy.
That was the thing.
Scary.
Florida is all oak trees,
And
and
it
they're all
landing
gone.
in your living room.
Yeah, terrifying.
Out of nowhere.
There's a
Horrifying.
improviser from New York who died that way. And
Really?
Yeah, he got he was just sleeping and a tree fell onto the house.
No. Okay,
my
this is
God.
a new criteria for Zillow.
horrible.
Is that will I die from a tree hit in my bedroom? Is the master bedroom within where a tree could fall?
Well,
on
partially
me?
you have to look out for that. You have to have a safety zone around your house, technically.
Oh.
Like especially if you live in an area where there are really tall old trees.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting wild out there. It's
When you own a
unpredictable.
house, you have to do so many dumb things. Like you have to call in tree people to cut down some
my
branches
God.
every couple of years, or else you're going to die.
Yes, but you're also inevitably going to be fighting with like your older neighbors who believe those trees like create this community.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And like make like your whole.
Oh, you'll be dealing with me, who's like, there is a family of birds in that tree.
Yes.
Can you just wait until we can move them? And then it's like thousands of dollars to move them. It's not even a thing. That's not even a service. And I would be like, because every time I see someone cutting down a tree, I'm like, all the wildlife in it is
Yeah.
displaced. That's insane. But people don't think of it that way. Because I know I used to not. But if I had to knock down a tree in my backyard, I'd really struggle
knocking
with
down
it.
a tree is horrible.
I would really struggle
You
with
need to
it.
replant if you're
But
going to
the
knock
tornado-
and
Tornado's gonna kill the-
rehabilitate all the animals.
That's
The
right.
tornadoes are going to kill the animals anyways, right? So you're killing the
shit.
animal
Okay,
today.
how
to
do I
save
want that
them.
animal to die?
Oh yeah, just move
On a
the
fine
How about we
spring
move
day?
the animal? We don't
That's what
have
I'm
to.
saying.
You don't
Maybe
have to
that's
murder it.
Maybe that's a service I can start providing that
Yes.
will tank immediately and is completely has to be funded by donations because no one will ever use it.
Yeah, there'll never
'cause
be
people
another
just want
tornado in
trees down
Florida.
so they can build their tennis court. Put up a parking lot. What's the song that the Counting
up a
Crows
parking-
did?
Pave paradise
Yeah.
and put up a parking
That's
lot.
not John Mayer?
No, it's Joni
It's
Mitchell.
actually Joni
Oh,
Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell.
I like attributing it to the Counting Crows.
yeah.
To make- for 5 seconds, people were fucking
Long
furious at me.
December, and there's reason to believe.
I saw them this summer and they were great. I had such a great time. And he does like go away from the melody a lot, but it is so fun
Like
because
Bob
you
Dylan
try to sing
style?
the melody and keep the melody true, or try to sing with him, and it's like, and it becomes really fun because he will always let you down. You can just harmonize with him the whole show.
What is the
And it's been a long December, and it's reason to believe that maybe this year will be better than the last. And you're just like,
is
oh,
hard.
I can't just sing it like
That's
when
very
the way you
hard.
did it in the music video with Courtney Cox. It was so good. I love that song so much. But I did. I have seen him do stuff and follow the melody. I'm giving him shit because he was still amazing, and his voice sounded as good, which is always so impressive when guys sound as good as they did in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, like 30 years later, if you could still sound like you did in
It's
the
so
90s,
hard.
yeah, it's
That's
so
amazing.
hard.
Frankie Valli is, but he's lip syncing.
He's listening,
hard.
man.
and he also has like a team of boys behind him carrying.
It looks like I think he's
me.
body sinking.
I do not think he put out that statement saying, I love touring and I can't wait to slay it on the road. He was like literally a Gen Z M wrote that for him.
Yes, of course. Do you think he knows how to type?
Period.
That was
No way was he posting that.
I
But I,
went
do
to-
think he likes being on the road. I think he likes doing it. It keeps him
Well,
alive.
This
Probably
guy,
not
well,
think
sure,
over
he would
die.
die. A lot of people
Yeah.
would die if they stopped working.
So I don't think when people are like, this is elder abuse, I'm like, I really don't think so. I think this guy's born to perform.
Yeah,
And he'll die.
What's
Die-
the
he's
guy's
dead to
name?
perform.
Lady Gaga's friend. What's his name?
Oh, Tony Bennett.
Yeah, like Tony Bennett.
Oh,
He-
yeah.
I guarantee you, he wanted to be out there, even though he was like losing. he had,
Yeah.
like,
Frankie
dementia.
Valli also is, but it's like you're
And it-
93. Like you're like everyone you've ever known has died. Like
Yes.
you've
Yeah.
outlived your children.
But
of course, put me on the road.
Yeah, and I like when they pair them with a younger, like a Gaga helps out the Tony
yeah.
Bennett, like is his hospice nurse
Sure.
on stage, much like
Yeah.
Brandy Carlisle and Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
They're holding their hand, like the next Joni Mitchell's like there's.
Give me Halsey and Frankie Valli.
Yes! I want to pair more people together. That's
Or like
awesome.
Dick Van Dyke and that whole team that gave him the Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my
then
God.
they look
Dick Van Dyke.
older. I mean, the Stones still work because everyone looks dead. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
they
the
just look like
Stones were-
aunts now. There's just like a group
Yeah,
of
hot
aunts.
They really? That was seriously like insane watching
Yeah, they're
him.
on- yeah.
Did we go? Did you go with me?
No, I saw him in Miami, and he danced
2002
3 hours. I think he did.
Is when I saw him, and it was so energetic. Same with Paul McCartney. I always talk about it. Bonnaroo, like
Aerosmith.
2011. I was just like, watched Paul McCartney for 3 hours sing and sound incredible. And there's just no way it was lip syncing, but who knows? But I mean, the stamina of these people, it's just so
It's
impressive.
incredible.
But I don't think I'll ever stop. I can't imagine.
No, you
why
just need
would
a
you?
really young girl next to you.
Yeah,
and then
I
you'll
need
be-
hacks.
And your fans, fans will age with you, and you'll still
Yeah.
have the same fans that you have now
Yes.
for the rest of your life. And hopefully, you get new ones coming in. But
Oh my God,
you can
this-
still maintain a career.
I mean,
with the same group.
Yes, if they stay alive, they still and excited, and you put out new material
Oh,
and
they
you
are.
respect them.
They're gonna want to be inside
They'll
because
stick
it'll be so
around.
hot.
I
You
love-
don't even
that's why I
need to
love
do-
the besties.
I mean, Joan Rivers, like she went to the very end, like
Oh, yeah.
just doing like new jokes. But Jerry Lewis, he would do Palm Springs, and it would be like a whole audience just full of like 85-year-olds,
Great.
and he'd be like, "Ask me every question you've ever had for me," and he'd just insult them for 2 hours.
Oh, that's great.
And it read the articles about it. It's so funny.
Wow.
It's just
Jerry
like,
Lewis.
oh, I would pay $500
just to see someone
that.
just not giving a fuck anymore,
Yeah.
and talk and like roasting. He was like, or he was just like being himself,
insulting them, like just
Really?
being like, "Oh, you want
He
you want to
wasn't like
know?"
a roasty Don Rickles.
No,
right?
no, not at all. He would
He
just
was just a womanizer, right? Like,
Yeah.
Didn't he like hate women?
he kind of hated women.
Yeah,
and in the articles he kind of goes off on women when they ask him questions.
Well, you know, we weren't prolific in stand up at that, or like really made a mark.
In the 50s, no.
They didn't let us, but he didn't attribute it to that.
Yeah.
We still had the Dean Martin roasts, and he was part of that.
He was,
Yeah.
but most of that was just him
No.
putting like glasses in his mouth.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't watch like old comedy. That's like never. Why would I ever watch that
Yeah.
when there's someone's dance to watch?
There's
or,
occasionally like a sketch from like the Smothers Brothers.
But,
that
like, when am I
that's,
in
like,
the mood to do that? Someone would
Yeah.
have to sit down and show.
Well, you
it
got
to
like you have to be willing to take like a class. It's almost like
Yes.
giving yourself a little
me.
class.
I need a Ken Burns comedy. I need one because I would watch that. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I would
Stand up?
definitely
Yeah,
watch
make
that.
comedy boring and not funny.
No,
and
Ken
then
Burns
they'll like
is
it.
amazing.
No,
Zoom in
I'm
on
being
pic-
serious. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
because that's the kind of TV I like. I
Yeah.
don't want to laugh. I want a slow moving show.
Right.
You know, I enjoy that. You know,
I'm
like
trying to
Peaky
think of-
Blinders is kind of. Well, it's
Oh,
not
yeah, for
that slow.
drama, you mean.
Yeah, drama.
Yeah.
Like make comedy drama and I'll enjoy it.
I
That's the bear.
that's the.
Oh, the bear.
Oh, there you go. Do you enjoy the bear?
I do enjoy. The
I know.
bear.
I gotta get back to the bear. I gotta get back to hacks, but oh my god. Oh, I have to go to break. Right. Well, this weekend, I'm gonna tell you what we're doing this weekend because it was really brought me a lot of joy. When we get back after this. So I was on the road this weekend with Ahri Findling, your best friend, Andrew,
Yeah.
who you introduced me to,
Well,
and
third best friend.
we were just like every time we would ever be like. Hey, like he'd be like, "Hey, I was thinking about a tag for that joke." I'd be like, "Are we on Hacks?" Like we it became because I would feel like we were on Hacks constantly because I'd be like, "And what if I said this?" Like I kept like, and every time it was just like, "Are we on Hacks?" So that would just become the running joke. Any comedians talking earnestly about stand up, which is I'm only doing it right now because I'm like begrudgingly trying to build a new act and do it the right way. And when I watched Hacks, especially season 2, I'm like, no one writes like this. Like this is the dream. So then when it happens,
And then the constant snapping.
Oh,
you got it.
tag it,
Rick, keep
tag
going,
it.
keep going.
And then you
Like,
go.
And they never,
That's right.
ever, yeah. There's maybe one bad thing, so they kind
They
of
throw in a bad one.
Yeah, not quite that. And then you know it's coming, and then it's just like fucking like she says it perfectly. They speed up the process because they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like let it go, being like, this isn't like real stand up. When I was like, she was pitching her Netflix special around, and like that's not how you pitch a Netflix special. You just like, for anyone who knows, you just your agents like have meetings on your behalf about your stand-up. You don't go in and go, here's my new hour. It's gonna be, like, and sit with your writers and like pitch it to you do that with TV shows. So
Yes.
it's like, okay, great. They're giving us that experience. I like at first was like, why didn't they do it the right way? And I'm like, because it's more interesting
Yeah.
Yes.
to have this. And guess what? That is a thing people do
Yes.
with TV shows. So just mix them and it's fine.
Mix them because it is more dynamic in that way.
Exactly.
Like, it's not fun to see Johnny Cash sit at a guitar going, no, that's not it. That's not it.
Right.
It's more fun than I walk the line. That's it.
Yes.
That's what real writing is. It's just constantly saying, that's not good. Over and over again.
Yeah.
No.
Now it's shooting your own special, paying $50,000 to shoot it, and then you might sell it. Like that's like it's not romantic.
You lose a bunch
to
of
do
money
that.
selling it, but like it's not. I spend so much fucking money. I spend so much money on things to have them be great, because sometimes the budget that you are given doesn't allow you to be as great as you want to be, and so you might lose money on things to get it to have a thing out there that's so good.
Well, it's an investment.
I don't think I probably broke even on the roast. I spent so much money just having a team of people helping with it, and how worth it was that?
You make money with all the other stuff that comes from the extra fame and on touring
Yes.
especially.
And I would say to people out there, do that. Like, spend money in the right places if you can. Like, I don't complain about, like, I should maybe complain about money more, because a comedian just told me, like, do you ever feel like they take advantage of the fact that they know we're going to come, like, prepared, and they don't give us as much materials, like, as they would give someone who's an actress just showing up at a thing. And I don't have that experience, but that was an interesting take that I was like, well, I always show up so prepared, and I'm always told that I do. They're like, God, Nikki, you always do so much work coming in. Do
I
you
think that's better to hear, though. I think that's better. Like,
yes,
yes,
I would.
oh,
That's the only way to do it.
yeah, like I've worked with so many people who like come to set with like
Nothing.
being like, "Can you explain what I agreed to?" And I'm like,
I've done that before
Yeah.
and like done a bad job because of it.
Yeah.
But I was at a award show recently and there was an actor backstage and I was like, "Do you like? What do you do when you like get booked in these? Do you like read the script? Do you like give notes on it? What do you do?" And he's like, "No, I just read what they give me." And I'm like, "You do?" Like that's so much trust and that's why a lot of those award show banter moments are incredibly awkward because the writers are trying their best. I mean, it's funny stuff, but then the delivery, the person said it once, the two people have never even met until they're standing backstage about to go on. They read through on prompter once together. Because they probably both can't make rehearsal because they both flew in that day from their separate movie
course,
premieres.
yeah.
And so it's like you watch it, but it's like I would want control over that. But I guess for some people, their image when they're not being like a character, they don't care about that much.
Well, actors are empty husks.
But wouldn't you work on building that empty husk to be something
They're
impressive?
constantly
when
being filled with that external content, whereas you have to write your own stuff and be producing it on your own.
I'm glad that I can do that. I guess it's like if they were, if a dancer or something was doing, they would put more work into dancing on TV than I would.
Sure.
Except no, I worked really hard.
yeah, you kind of would expect that. Like people just don't want to look like a total like idiot on TV, but I think so many people are okay with it. Like,
Sometimes
people are okay
actors
with
do
it.
write their own thing, and it goes much worse.
Oh, I had an experience on the VMAs
good
one year
point.
where we wrote this thing for Paul Rudd and I think Rick Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And like
What a combo.
because
Whoa,
that was
yeah.
like MTV was like put them together,
Yeah.
and then Rick Ross like approved the thing, and then Paul Rudd was like, "Could I just take a stab at this?" And he wrote the funniest possible.
so funny.
Like it was so good that it was like the best part of the show to me, and
What?
like and he
Oh my
rejected
God.
our draft
Rudd.
like wholesale.
And like, no offense taken.
Yeah,
He, like, you're like,
I'm like,
respect.
no, thank
I'm
God.
like, of course.
Yeah,
like,
that's
this is
amazing.
so
I don't wanna
much
do it.
better.
He is so funny. You know that bit he does on Conan every time?
Oh,
If
Mac-
people don't know about it, it's like he goes on he's done it probably 20 times, I'm guessing. Every appearance he's ever been on since late night days. He goes on and he says, he's promoting a movie that's a real movie. And then he pitches to the trailer or like, oh, we're going to see a scene. And he describes a whole scene and maybe has a story behind it. And then it cuts to a scene from
Mac and Me, which is like the McDonald's produced terrible E.T. ripoff.
and it's a child. Wait, what's the scene? Will you describe it? Because
A child is in a wheelchair. He's the lead of the movie, and it immediately cuts to him speeding down a hill. All you hear is a child going, "Ah!" And then he careens off of a cliff into water, and then an alien pops up.
and goes, whoa.
And that's it every time.
And it's every time. And then he got him so good. He was doing his podcast, I think. And this was like after he hadn't done it for a really long time. But even though he does it every time. And he was describing a new... Did you see this? It was like a new podcast series he was going to do. Like, it was like a serious thing.
Yeah.
He got really emotional about it. He told like an 11-minute story about a new podcast he was doing. Is that what... Am I getting it right?
No,
But
you're
that's
getting
a
it
real
right.
podcast.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
he
no.
completely made it up so that he
Okay.
could drop in Mac and Me and get Conan again after having done it for 20 times on his late night
That's
show. And
amazing.
Conan was so riveted by this, really intense. It was like some kind of podcast about going back into your roots or something. I don't even know the context, but it was very serious. So Conan was almost like taken aback. And it was really like a somber mood. And he drops the wheelchair kid. It reminded me so much of Conan is so amazing, but I just forget entire eras of Conan that like changed my life, which was late night days when he would do the lever for the what's his name?
Walker, Texas.
Thank you. Walker, Texas Ranger lever. Do you remember that?
No.
So NBC and Universal had a merger, and he was like, "It's now we have the rights to Walker, Texas Ranger, and we can like for free use any of the footage." So like, we have a budget around here, so. They just decided to show clips out of context from the show, and they're just like like the weirdest, worst acting, worst stunts, really just like outright, like hilarious, dialogue, just awkward stuff.
So out of context.
Yes,
Like,
and it was all just so bad, and it was like this thing that everyone looked forward to of like these clips that he would be like, "We have another one," and there was like a button he would hit that would like make it happen, or a
lever.
It was a lever.
Yeah.
So then they did a lever where he was like, "I'm not doing it tonight," and they'd be like, "Crank," and then it would just pop snap to a clip, and it was just the timing was perfect. But it got to the point where they were like, he was like, seriously, we can't do this anymore. Like, we're running out. We don't have any more. And he'd be like, actually, to protect the lever, because things have been getting weird around here, we're having like a security guard here tonight. And a security guard was like standing in front of it, like real serious. And then he just starts to have a heart attack on air and is falling down and grabs the lever and like save himself. Another time, like a hawk swooped down and goes, ah, and like hits it. He's like, and so the final one that they show, that maybe not even the final one, it was one that he was like, we shouldn't be showing this, and we've been saving this one, we can't show you, or it's been a debate around here whether we should show you, and we're finally, I guess we're gonna do it. And he goes, cut to the clip, and it was before there was like a lever, and it's Haley Joel Osment talking to Walker Texas Ranger, and he's with like the old man diabetes.
Yeah, Will
roommate next to him. And they're like, hey, little Ranger, and he's like, it's little, whatever. I forget what he says.
It's
like,
so bizarre. Like
he's like saying it's like some Indian name they gave him.
It's like, oh, it's little Navajo chief. Like,
and they're like, okay, little Navajo chief. And then the music gets really still, and then Haley Joel Osment is 4 years old, by the way, and he just goes, Walker told me I have AIDS. Just fucking
I've seen that. I don't know why I've seen that.
It's because they play it all the time, but it's so funny. There were just so many great Conan bits.
I mean, he
changed my life.
I mean, he changed my life too. Like, I truly wanted to work in late night so bad
when I discovered his show. Yeah,
it like yes, and like even his opening bit, like I've watched it like 100 times. Have you ever seen it where it's basically him walking to New York, and everyone's like, "You're not going to be as good as Letterman."
Yeah.
And then he goes into 30 Rock, and like the guy in the elevator's like, "Hey, good luck. You're not going to be as good as Letterman." And then it's like 2 minutes to showtime, and he's like, "Perfect." And then he just ties the noose, and he's like getting onto a chair, and then the theme song starts playing, and they're like, "Conan, you got to get out there." And he's like, "All right, I guess this could wait."
That's great.
That was the first
thing you see on a show starring a guy you've never heard of.
How fucking smart of Lorne Michaels to pull him from he was nobody to anyone except that kind of crowd. And even within the writing crowd, he was like, everyone knew him as a performer, but no one was like, this guy's destined for on camera. He was really kind of plucked out of nowhere, at least to his peers, I think, even. They didn't see it coming.
They did not see it coming.
Yeah.
Like, there's this book about the Simpsons writer's room, and he's like, I'm auditioning to be the host of the late night show, and then they're all making fun of him, being like, that's never going to happen.
Oh my God.
They thought he was getting like led on. Like,
wow.
They're pranking you, Conan. Yeah.
He's such a one, and like he's the best. Every time I'm around him, I just can't help but tell him. But I always forget like all of the things that all of the memories of like I was even talking about remember Jay Leno used to do headlines?
Sure.
And then Conan would do like fake headlines or like no real headlines, I think it was called.
Yeah, like actual
headlines. Because okay, so this is wild. Okay, so this weekend I remembered this bit and I was like, we gotta watch. I was talking to Ari and Anya and Matt about it backstage. And I'm like, it was so because we were talking about Leno doing headlines and how I would look forward to it so much as a kid. It was like my favorite thing in the world. And then I thought we were talking about it and I go, wait, did you think they like made those up? And then I was like, of course they did. Like, it's like, it was like how I remembered Santa. Cause I was like, they were so good. They were so weird. It would be like, like I'm trying to think of things that would happen in it, but they couldn't keep that up. I'm sure some of them were real, but there's no way they could keep up the demand of every Monday.
It was every Monday, and it'd be like, like every week they'd have like a long Wang wedding.
Yes,
and it's
yes, every single week.
But they have people watching who sent in headlines. I'm sure they got thousands and thousands of submissions.
I know, but I'm sure so that's what I said out loud. And then I go, actually, oh my God, I think Conan had a parody of it called Actual Items. That's what it was called.
Actual Item.
And so he would do the same thing where he would take like, oh, we got this. He would do the same board where Leno would like kind of like take the board on the edge of the desk, and like and they would zoom in. And he would say the name of the newspaper and when it ran. And then it would be just some ad. What were the ones this weekend? Like it would be an outdoor pool and you'd zoom in and he goes, this looks nice, this outdoor pool. It's $299. It looks like all the kids are having fun. What I'm really disturbed by is right here, and it would zoom in, it would just be like this little tagline that says, perfect for even the biggest white trash family. Like something like that. That would just be so funny.
I thought you were going to say there's another outdoor pool one.
Oh my God.
It's the hardest I've ever laughed. I truly, it's my favorite joke ever on TV. outdoor pool. Then there was a little faded boy, and it's like, this is the pool I died in.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So it was so funny. But then I go, wait a second. So then I pulled up a clip of it, and in it, Conan is like mocking Jay Leno so fucking hard with like disdain of like, you know how Leno does headlines? We do that too. And you know how, and Leno's are real. Ours are real too, and Leno's are too, because why wouldn't they be real? That would be a big waste of everyone's time. And he says it right to camera, and I'm like, oh my God. This bit was born of them being like, he's his most popular thing, they're writing, and it's fake. Let's make, like, and I trace the feud back a little bit before.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm not kidding you, there was disdain.
Yeah.
Oh.
For
But I would say-
what Leno was doing comedically, as there should have been, if the allegations were true.
But I
that they were
think even
making
if the
them up.
allegations are of the headlines being fake, I still think that's impressive writing. That's still funny. Like, the headlines were still funny.
No, well, okay.
Someone wrote those.
All right. Well, this is the difference between. Okay, you can't. It's funnier. It gets so much funnier that it was a random happenstance that was misspelled in a way that made it pornographic. That people are relying on that sense, and you're lying. It's magic.
But someone
trick.
still had to write that.
Yes, but it's
that mishap.
But you're not telling the truth,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It just bothers me for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on the writers. Yeah, I wouldn't want to write
that
those.
It bothers. I can understand
I
that.
mean, I loved headlines growing up.
I loved them.
Loved them.
But I liked the fact that they were real.
Me too. But actual items is like my favorite desk piece ever.
Yes.
Like
It feels like when I went to a birthday party, Laura Holly's, I know you're listening, in 5th grade, and her mom had a psychic there, and the psychic told me that I was gonna be like a famous actress, or like, it told me everything I wanted to hear, and I was just like so fucking happy because there was no indication that was ever gonna happen to me, but it was like my deepest desire. And I was like, oh my God, like, who knows if this stuff is real, but she like said that, like, I'm gonna do it. And then I found out her mom had hired their neighbor to dress up like a gypsy. And like, then she called our parents to get reconnaissance on us, to then tell us what we wanted to be and what we wanted to hear. And so
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
that's child abuse.
I was so, none of my friends were upset. They were like, oh, who cares? I was like, this is not, like, I cried. I was like, why would you do this? What is the point of all this? It made me so fucking mad.
But she was right.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
that's
the
true.
headlines are real. Maybe the headlines are real. You know what I
One
mean?
day you're going to be a famous comedian. You're going to host the Golden Globe.
Yeah.
Mom, why would you do
find
this?
that lady.
Yeah, who was that? I remember. I bet they're still friends. Kathy, I think her name was.
Of
Yeah, I was
course
like,
it
oh my
was.
God. But I
Can't
knew
trust.
Kathy too, and I was like, she was wearing like sunglasses and like a like.
Oh, so she was in disguise.
Yes, she dressed as a gypsy woman, and it was in a dark room with all these candles.
But every gypsy woman predicting the future is lying.
yeah,
She's
like,
authentic.
But
mean,
I was in 5th grade. And the same with Santa. I'm just like, I'm not into lies, just
Yeah.
for wonderment and for like fun.
Well, I'm personally.
But whoever wrote Santa, I respect.
I personally like the old Nordic.
Who wrote Santa?
Ancient who.
Someone did.
Jesus? I don't know.
Una Leeson.
Who?
No,
When
that's
did
John
you find?
Gleason?
Wait, did you celebrate Christmas at all?
Yeah. No, I celebrated Christmas.
Did you believe in Santa?
Yeah, I did. There was actually, I had a fireplace, and I don't remember what happened, but there was a crack in the fire. There's like little glass panes on the doors.
Yeah.
And there was a crack on it. And one day I was like, what's that crack? And he's like, oh, this year Santa busted the glass a little bit. And then for like 6-7 years, I was like, fucking Santa, he's fucked up our fireplace.
Why don't you fix it, Santa?
That's the shit that I don't like. Is this like my parents would like chew on carrots and like leave, like there was like effort put into making me look like a fucking idiot.
chew on
Yeah, this
carrots.
happened.
Carrots.
Oh, for Easter?
For Easter. Sorry.
Santa came in here and chewed up a bunch of our
Let's-
carrots.
Yeah, sorry for the Easter bunny. That was the one that was like he got into the carrots, and I was really like, "Whoa, he trashed our kitchen! Like, what an asshole!" Like, I kind of felt the same way. Like, fuck that.
This guy.
As a parent who has to do this stuff,
I wouldn't know what to do.
I'm biting carrots with my 2 front teeth to get them more funny.
well, you want
such
to
a
fill
good
your
prank.
child with wonder. I mean, because all of his friends at school are going to be like, the Easter Bunny came, and then you want your kid to be the one that's like, Easter Bunny's not real, you dumb fuck.
It's starting. I'm watching it seep in because he's like, oh, my friend told me that Santa's not real.
And that's
I'm
a great way to
your
find
friend's
out.
a liar.
Yeah. You just have to.
Yeah, maybe he's just really bad.
Yeah. And make him distrust his friend who's only telling him the truth.
Right.
truth.
Your friend does drugs.
Yeah, but I just want him to be young forever.
Yeah, I know. Of course.
I think
you
a little
do.
bit of wonder is good early on, and then you don't want to dash it. But I think discovering something in that way,
But
you
then
don't have to
become like
wonder.
a conspiracy theory that like turns into thinking, we never landed on the moon if you don't believe
There
in
are some
Santa.
people who get the wonder and then just grow up with joy and then become
Yeah.
like a healthy, happy person.
That's true.
I don't
yeah.
like being misled by the people who love me.
Yeah,
Even if
no.
it's for
Yeah,
because
that's like-
Santa doesn't maybe if it means like we have to stay quiet at night to like we have to play a game of like it's quiet and we're in war zone or something, but like don't make up a man coming into our house
Yeah.
and giving me gifts that you bought. Like it's okay for me to know that, and probably I would spoil it for my friends, but
It reminds me of like my parents
I
when
just
they got
homeschool my kids. Like you can't have friends.
my parents were separated, and then for my bar mitzvah they pretended to still be together.
Wow,
Because they didn't want to
that's
look
something.
bad at
Yeah.
the bar mitzvah.
Oh,
to
that
their
wasn't your
friends.
gift?
Yeah. I was like, no, they gave me. I got $7,000. I bought a jet ski that I think lost in the tornado. But they sang "You Got Me, Babe" at my bar mitzvah.
How long have they
Just
been
to-
separated? Or
Oh,
divorced?
they hated each other for years before this, and
But like, how long have they been living apart or not talked?
probably about 6 months.
So
I think
you
at that
knew.
point, from what I remember.
At your bar mitzvah, you knew they were separate. They
Yes,
didn't keep
I
it a
was like,
secret
"What
from you.
is this?"
Wow, just
and
to,
I'm
just
Jewish,
to
so I
keep
couldn't
save
even.
face.
Yeah,
from their friends in the community.
Yeah.
Every
something.
family does this, and like there's like a deep shame in the family, and then in public, everyone acts like it's okay, and
Yeah.
that fucks with kids. So if you can avoid doing that to your kid, if you're listening,
Yeah,
like,
he should have punched my mom at the bar mitzvah to show
or at
everyone.
least talk about, hey, because mommy and daddy are separated, and it's something that people might think bad about us. We're gonna pretend to be together, and I'm so sorry. We have to play pretend to not, like talk about what you're doing. Maybe I don't
He's
know.
13. I mean, he's a man now.
Yeah, you
That's-
had just become a man.
Yeah,
I
I
should be able to
I
handle
coulda
the
handled it.
nuances.
Shrouding family shame.
My
Yeah.
whole bar mitzvah was about dealing with.
You're
my
like, I'm just
parents'
trying to get a
argument.
hand job. Why are you guys
God.
pretending to love each other?
Yeah, I was trying to get a hand job by one of the dancers that was at the party.
Oh, yeah?
Like an older one,
Really?
like she was like 20, and I was like, "Hi."
I've never been to
I
a
had
bar
white
mitzvah, but
tux
it
on.
sounds so horny. Like every one of my friends'
I
stories.
wouldn't have been horny at 13. I was still a kid at 13.
Yeah, it's like on
is
the
that when
edge.
it happens?
No,
What?
it's not
No.
quite horny.
No, it happens. Yeah, yeah.
Secret horny, if anything.
It's so funny you're not horny when you're a man.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I didn't have pubic hair for another 2
Is it
years
at
after
13
becoming
though?
a
Is
man.
it
Throw
the
that
age?
man
Yeah.
thing on
It's at,
you.
yeah,
I think a
I
little
wouldn't
early.
be horny.
I think calling a 13-year-old a man is a little bit
It's too
ahead
young.
of the game there.
Isn't
It's
it
go-
18?
I think 18 is
Legally?
when you should legally be called a man, but this is like you're dealing with some like year one type stuff.
Well,
right
yeah.
now.
Well, we don't have year one.
What's
You-
year one?
I know nothing. Oh, I was talking like, how it's
Year one?
2024.
Well, I guess we do have a year
Oh,
one.
year one. Yeah.
We do have a year one, but it's not the year one that you were saying.
I year one, and I don't even think it could be a year.
Yeah,
Jesus
definitely.
was one.
Oh yeah, I know that. I found that out too late. Anytime people start talking about religious stuff, I get like really.
horny.
I get clammed
Jews,
up,
baby.
which is another way of saying horny. But yeah, I get like I don't know anything about it. Like I feel shame that I don't.
Don't know anything about religion.
Yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
know the base. It's like the way I felt about football for a while.
Yeah, but you can
Now-
learn. You just gotta watch the games.
Yeah,
You got to do the roast of Jesus or something.
yeah. But
Yeah, you'll make $3 million off of it. You'll
like
love
I don't
it.
know all the books. I don't know the difference between the Old and the New Testament. I literally don't know what happens that splits those two. I know that they exist. I don't know who Job is. I don't know who Cain and Abel exactly are. I don't know.
I feel
who
like in
Judas
Jeopardy
is.
though, like Jeopardy questions,
I just know these names, but I don't know anything. Literally, I can't tell you.
You know who?
anything
You know
they
about
did.
Noah's Ark?
Yeah,
You know
'cause that's
Moses?
Like,
Well-
Moses and the Red Sea and the
Yeah, she's
tablet.
not Evan Almighty.
Yeah, I did see that. But I just know like kind of like. Are there any subjects that you guys feel like deep shame that you're like pretty dumb?
I don't feel
at?
the shame about it, but I don't know
you should.
anything really at all about like art.
I don't know anything about presidents, like outside of this century.
Okay,
like,
that's an interesting
yeah,
one.
I wish I knew more about.
I know
Yeah.
so
I wish I
much
knew
about presidents.
I'm just constantly referencing Millard Fillmore, and I'm like,
Yeah,
every time I
he's
see
your
him-
go-to.
Yeah, I wish I knew someone
it's
else.
the
funny
funniest
name.
name. It's the
That was a
best
funny
one.
era of names. Every time I see you, I'm going to give you a president fact.
Please,
I would
over
like
Give us
that
one.
too.
Miller
I would like
Fillmore.
that
time
too.
you will learn about presidents.
I would love it.
That Howard Taft, our fattest president,
Yeah.
died in a bathtub.
I knew that.
I did know that just because.
What about Millard Fillmore? What you got?
Millard Fillmore. A fact about Millard. I don't have a fact about Millard Fillmore.
He sounds
I'm
like a
sorry.
70s pop icon.
Wait, how did he die in
Then-
the bath? He drowned?
He was too fat. Or no, he got stuck in a bath.
He got stuck
I don't know if
in
he
a
died
bath.
in it,
That's
actually.
So
Wait, this is
He
your
didn't die in it. Maybe he did die in it.
Conan is one that gives president facts all the time. His knowledge in general, just like
Okay, here's a
astounding.
president fact. Did you know that Bill Clinton got his dick sucked?
I did know that.
Oh, you did?
Wait, you know what I said the other
In a
day?
bathtub?
We have to go to break, but before we go to break, do you know what I said? I referenced the other day on set. I was doing a photo shoot and I had a cigar and I was naked on a bike for this photo shoot, and so I was like, "Oh, I'll just put it up here," because it was like my vagina was right there, and I go, and everyone was I was like Bill Clinton, and everyone was like, "What?" No one knew that reference. I'm like, "Did you know that Monica put a cigar up her vagina?"
I did not know until you just said it just now.
Really?
Really?
You
Right
never
now,
knew
the
that
second
detail?
is
I
learned.
only knew that.
That's all I knew too.
That's the president
I didn't
fact.
even know what was on the dress. I had no knowledge of cum yet at this point in my life, but I knew that she stuck and I thought it was kind of cool.
I remember.
Why did she put it
I
up
thought it
her
was kind of nasty
vagina?
in a cool way.
I mean, it is kind of.
I remember being like, "That's gross," and kind of because I've put weird one time I not famously, but notoriously put a Sour Patch Kid in my vagina, like a jelly worm or something. My boyfriend's
It came
favorite
out
candy.
sour, I think.
I was picking him up from the airport and I knew he would finger me right away, without question. So I put his favorite snack in my vagina. As a joke, because it would just be so funny for him to be like, "Why is my
It's the
favorite
funniest
candy?"
thing you've ever done. That's the funniest thing anyone's ever done.
He did not think it was funny, and I understand that now. But I think because Chris, I would never do that to Chris because Chris would just be like, gross. He doesn't want to combine But this guy was a little bit grosser, but even he didn't like it. But I think I got that idea from originally Monica being like, put things up there that are funny.
Yeah, no, it's so funny. I mean,
You know
the
the-
president doing that? That's kinky ass
Kinky
shit.
ass shit. We gotta go to break. We'll be back after this. I have to reapply my lip gloss because I'm learning from Gen Z that she's like, do you put on your lip gloss? It's gives you an instant boost of confidence. And I'm like, it actually is working. It's
makes
the
sense.
new nervous thing to do.
Sure.
Some people have chapstick. Some people have, do you guys have any nervous habits?
Yeah.
Smoking?
Bite my nails.
Smoking,
Biting your
my nails.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you something to
I'm
do.
trying not to for the wedding. So
Oh,
because they have
yeah,
that
let's talk
photo
wedding.
with your hands, and I just have these little
don't
stumpy,
need a
disgusting
hand
alien
photo.
hands.
The hand photo
Have
or the
someone
stuff.
pose in for you for your hands. It'd
I
be
might
funny.
call in a
Because who
guy.
gives a shit about your hands
Get
in a
Rusty
photo?
to do it.
Yeah, Rusty would do. I know Rusty bites his nails.
Yeah.
Rusty. I don't know if I have one friend with
That's
good hands.
so funny. You're worried about that hand photo.
Yeah,
How are you feeling ahead of the wedding?
I feel good. I mean, I'm a little nervous
Your
about.
voice got so high.
You have
bird just
classic
flew into the
lying
window.
tone.
Put on some lip gloss. Soothe with the lip gloss.
I would, but I actually
Seriously, do
hate
it.
putting lip gloss
Oh, really?
on.
You don't like it?
I hate the feeling. It makes me feel
Yeah.
too hot.
Your mom and dad are going to go to the wedding and pretend to be
I
together.
just feel like sucking a.
Have you started your vows?
It does feel juicy.
That's what I'm scared about. And I was debating on
Oh, the
going to
vows.
ChatGPT about it. but
No.
We're
Not-
good friends.
No
You
way.
ChatGPT.
No way.
You're a
That's-
comedian.
I'm very low.
That's
I
right.
know what you think.
Oh,
You don't
I'm
want to
not
look back
that
on your
good.
wedding and be like, "Oh, ChatGPT
It'll be
wrote my
great.
vows."
Are you worried about your friends and family thinking it's funny? Are you worried about her thinking it's enough in terms of your feelings? Are you
That
insecure?
one.
Okay,
That one.
so just nail that. Don't worry
Yeah.
about
Wait,
anything
which
else.
one did you say?
Talking from the heart and really
You're afraid that you're not going to be able to express.
Well, when I got married to her, or when I
Engaged.
engaged her,
Yeah.
I can't talk anymore. But I got down on a
Yeah, I
knee
know
and
that
I go,
feels.
"Will you marry me?" That's how I said it. I'm not even. I
Because
wasn't
you were
trying
like,
to be
'cause you
funny.
had
That's just how it
anxiety.
came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had anxiety, and I wasn't trying to be funny. I
It's
was just
hard.
like,
It's
at the
hard.
time.
Yeah.
Literally the most earnest thing you could do, and it's so it
Yeah.
is so hard. I fucked up mine. All my friends fucked up theirs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I felt
I
very
can't imagine
weird.
doing it sincerely. And,
Yeah.
Oh, well, with the
just
with
to
the,
say
yeah.
anything, like really, it's very hard to be that vulnerable, especially like at a park with on your knee where your family's like watching. Or
Yeah,
like not that
actually,
was, like,
strangers were watching, which
Yeah,
actually was
that's-
even more vulnerable. I felt
Yes,
like,
yes.
I was like, I don't want anyone to see this,
It's
but I
weird.
want everyone to see it. But I
okay,
don't-
so just challenge yourself to be like say just write the speech that you think, write exactly what you think she wants to hear,
yeah, but you
and
know,
don't even say what you want to say.
Be super.
yeah.
No, that's-
hey, guys,
I'm kidding.
I want to.
No, say what you want to say, but like also try to nail what she wants to hear, and don't worry about anyone else.
Be super earnest, and then just do the Jim Gaffigan voice, like making fun of yourself after your video.
Yes,
She
yes.
does like hot pockets. I don't.
No, it's going to be great because it's going to be a mixture of both, and even if it sucks, it'll be great.
And we're not doing it.
Even if it's like
We're not
nervous
doing it
and
in front of
rambling.
people. I don't know what
What?
y'all did. We're doing generic in
that's
front,
right.
and then on the beach the morning of. We're
Oh,
doing.
so you like are just saying this to her?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Then
Yeah.
you'll just write a poem. She hits the bottle. She goes full
She
throttle.
goes full throttle.
He wrote a poem in college.
That was between
about
us.
about his mom's and the podcast we used to do about his mom's drinking, and his friends found it, and it was like
My fraternity
She
in my
is-
frat.
Oh,
she hits the bottle. She goes.
She hits the bottle. She went full throttle.
oh,
Now she waddles.
It's called.
Roddles.
Yeah, I don't
that
know.
what it's
Yeah,
was called
she's on
She Hits
oxygen, so it's bad.
Which sounds like a good song, actually.
Yeah, no,
It's
the
a
lyrics
good-
were
it's a
tight.
Morgan
Roddles.
Wallen hit.
I like that phrase.
It's like an
I forgot about that
Everclear
phrase.
song.
Yeah, no, I'm very good at A-B, or what?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
the simplest.
Rhyming A-B.
It's
Yeah.
so it's so
That's
sweet.
not good
I think
for
it
a
makes me
vow.
laugh because it's just
No.
so
You don't want to rhyme in your vows.
Brenna, you are my girl. You're my
You're
world.
like a henna
Yeah.
tattoo.
It's so like that is my worst fear is like if I try to
Poetry?
write sincere
Oh,
poetry like
and get it
in a
found?
moment where I thought I was kind of like sweet and then someone like
No,
it's
this is the saddest part. I had
devastating.
mono in the frat house, and I was listening to Garth Brooks, but not Garth Brooks, his alter ego,
Chris Gay?
Chris Gaines, and it's the saddest. In a black light, writing poetry on the floor
Oh my
because I probably had anchovies in my bed, and I was
Anchovies.
I whatever. It was the
he wasn't taking
'90s.
care of himself. And also, this is a running theme of like, you know, remember when your brother gave you ice cream and it was sour cream, but you just liked it?
Yeah,
That's
tricked
right.
him. I got
and
him.
then what about when they put a fish in your bed?
No,
They-
oh, they
no,
put
they
didn't know
didn't.
this?
Yeah, they put anchovies under my bed for the whole year of my freshman year, and I had no idea. And I was like, man, I got
They were just putting them in your bed quietly and slowly, and you never noticed.
under his mattress,
under
the
my
mattress
mattress.
Under and it was it stinking?
Of
eventually?
course, but he just assumed
I
it
had
was
no
himself.
sheets on my bed freshman year. I was
Okay.
completely depressed.
Aw.
Yeah, it's I actually needed
kid.
that. You know
Yeah,
what?
that's
Maybe,
so sad.
maybe it
You
is
should-
sad.
It's so sad. I'm sorry for you, but it is
Frats.
funny too.
Oh, dude, my clothes. I was a horrible roommate. Let's not get it twisted. All my clothes
Oh,
were on
yeah.
the floor. My buddy at one point packed up all my clothes and he put it in the hallway and he threatened to light it on fire. I was just, I don't know. I was
Listen,
a horrible,
I've been a shithead for many years of my life. I get it.
Or
Well, it's because
just
I grew
depressed.
up. I grew up though. I was.
You didn't
I had a
get
net.
taught how to take care of yourself on your own.
Yeah, I had a laundry lady. I had a maid.
You that would be insane. You getting dropped off at college when you had literally never done a load of laundry.
I would throw the
Cheat
laundry in the
sheets.
laundry room. I go, laundry's ready, the net. And I would throw it, and I go,
Oh man!
yeah, don't even
And
look at
Annette?
me in the eyes, Annette.
And that she was living.
No, she pretty much. We had another lady
They're
named
5
Jeffy.
days a week.
Jeffy was an older black woman who took care of me, taught me how to drive when I was 12, and sing from the chest. That was her
Aw,
thing.
That's a good tip.
It didn't work though. I sing horribly.
I like that though. I think that is a good tip. What about when you were wiping the cum?
Which time? Who's come?
I'm sorry to relive these moments.
No,
but
I
the
love
one
it. I
where-
don't talk about it enough. I think about it.
You guys had to move out of the house, and it was revealed like this giant slick that you had created on the carpet over years of just like dropping loads with your hand.
What?
And, like,
Where were you
smearing
dropping
them,
the loads?
Like underneath on the carpet, like
Yeah.
between the wall and the bed frame or whatever.
You know, a booger
Okay.
wall I had to come for.
Yeah, like
It was behind the bed.
It wasn't far enough under the bed where you, I was
It was
so
like
lazy.
The side.
It was
the
like,
side.
no-
It was the side.
I relate to this.
yeah,
Wait,
and it
so-
clumped up, and then
Clumped up. This is a liquid. It's supposed to go away.
No,
No.
liquid.
What
It's
happened
like
with
a
your
gel.
cum?
Cum hardened.
Yeah, cum hardened.
No, cum. It's like
Cum is like paint.
no, it's
No.
like a yellow liquid.
Yeah.
It is absolutely. It's a
It's a
gel
yellow
that like
liquid that just
hardens.
Yeah.
You've been
causes a
pissing in your
crust.
girl for a while,
It causes
Brian.
a crust.
It crusts. It crusts
What?
in a very
It's crusty as fuck, dude.
disgusting way.
yeah,
like
yeah.
Even in water, it crusts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
I learned that the hard way too.
So why didn't you use a napkin or a sock?
He was
or
too lazy. There was
Not
no
even a
napkin.
sock or in your sheet?
Well,
What
you
is
know,
this?
You had no
What are you,
sheet.
Dr.
when
Zeus?
when you were in high
Dr.
when you-
Seuss?
No,
you're in
like
high
not
school
even
in this situation, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what's that?
You're in
Were you-
high school?
I think
I'm
middle
like
school.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you not
You're
do it
not
on a
thinking
Fox?
about cleaning this
You know
up.
what it
You're
was?
thinking about getting the sin out of your body.
I just thought about this. I haven't even
Exactly.
thought about this until right now. My little brother was in the top bunk.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't want to get caught walking with, cum hand.
Yes.
We've all done
Yeah.
that where we
And
cuff
also,
it.
you didn't want to go. Like you're a lazy teen. You don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna harden into a thing that you could see.
What did it look like? I mean, how many years of cum
a
is this?
slick? Like it looked like a
No, not
skid
s-
mark.
It was like it made its own carpet.
Was it like thick?
It's like, it was like-
like a full-grown 4-year-old.
Just billions and billions.
How many months?
he looked at me and goes, I
think
have
it was
AIDS.
years.
Years of cum?
How many?
Was it like-
Probably, it was a good 2 years
Was it
build up.
thick or was it just like a mark, like a
was
stain?
thick.
It was thick.
It's everything you don't want it to be. And
How
Wait,
could it
when did
be
you see?
this?
Did you see anyone see it?
I've heard, no, I think when we moved out of the house, my mom, I can't remember whether or not she had a comment, but I feel like in my
I
mind.
bet this is a common thing that mothers deal with.
Of course, they just find
Cum
out that
slicks
they're
on carpets.
Well,
Yeah,
my
that-
dad found my penis pump and he's never mentioned it.
I was like in high school. I was obsessed with finding different lubricants and just seeing what they would do and like.
To your penis?
Yes, and like
Yeah.
it would hurt. Like I'm finding out that shampoo straight up doesn't work. One time I used my mom's
'Cause it
bronzer.
stings?
Oh no!
I used my mom's bronzer in junior year of high school,
got your
and I
penis-
walked in to high school, and my hand was completely orange. And everyone knew instantly. I couldn't get it off.
Why don't you rub it
my
all
God.
over then?
What the fuck? What did you think would happen?
I
Did
thought
you
it
think
was
your
bod-
dick would get like orange.
No,
and then
I thought it was
nothing
body lotion, and it was
Oh
bronzer.
my
So
God.
my penis
Yeah.
and hand were just orange
else? That's so
man.
for like
funny.
a week and a half.
Oh
That's-
my
Because
God.
it stays on there. even
Did
in
it
the
work,
shower.
though?
Oh yeah, it's
Did you
horrible to get off your
complete?
Oh,
palms.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
worst thing. That's when you get a spray tan. It is the worst. Like you just avoid your palms and your feet because it soaks
There's
it up.
nothing. There's no like alcohol or anything that can get it
You
off?
cannot get it off. You just have to wait. It's like Sharpie.
It's straight
Oh.
up racist. Your hand looks
man.
Oh, yeah,
racist.
you had bronze hand.
It's so funny.
Dude, I'm just imagining your dick with a perfect hand grip.
Oh my
on
God,
his
I was
Oh
penis,
my
like
I
a
was
God.
bronze
horrified because I was just like hiding my hand, and then the first time someone saw it, they were like, "Did you masturbate with bronzer?" I'm like, "How did you get that right away?"
Oh.
Oh my God.
Wait, someone actually said that?
Yeah.
Your friend?
No, it was a girl in my homeroom.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
Danielle
it's
O'Connell.
so brutal when
Wow,
you
she
just
was ahead of her
fucking
time.
nail it.
Yeah.
When you like, that was always this. I just wanted to disappear in middle school and high school when I started noticing that some kids would just like have your number and fucking say it out loud and like in a way that could be so devastating that I would like. There were moments where I was like, I'll kill myself if someone reveals this thing I'm thinking about myself. Like I literally was like, it will suck that I have to kill myself. I wouldn't have survived with social media. No fucking way.
it would've been
But
bad.
I used to pray to God so many times that a certain boy wouldn't be there the next day because I wanted to wear some like shoes that if he called out, like I knew he would call them out. He's the only boy that was that clever to like make fun of like my new style. And I would pray that he wouldn't be there and that he would, and I'd have to go into the nurse's office to like lie and go home because of just avoiding insults.
Yes.
Final thought. Like, did you relate to that at all?
Well,
or did you just
I
zing
mean,
them
I don't know.
back?
My freshman year, the penis pump, everyone found it.
Oh,
and my
yeah.
whole
That was so
freshman year,
devastating.
my roommate found my penis pump, and then he called every girl.
This is to make it bigger.
No, smaller actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was too
That's
big.
why.
I actually used the deflate way. Yeah.
Switch and reverse it.
Yeah. Caused a hemorrhoid though, which is weird. It like sucks so hard. But anyway, so I ended up getting caught by everyone, and I think in comparison.
But
to
they
that,
called all the girls, and they.
it
he was
was-
waiting. He was at his dorm. He had just done a gravity bong hit at someone else's dorm room. He comes back to his dorm room. All the girls from his dorm and
all
his-
the guys,
all
every
the
cool
guys
person, second week freshman year.
are with his penis bump.
He whips it. He walks out, and he's like,
Goes,
"What the hell? I thought it was a party."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Woo, freshman year." And he's
This
like, "What
is
the fuck
horrible.
is this?" And I was
Horrible.
like, and I was so high.
What
I
college
just go,
was this?
Huh? Tulane in New
Oh,
Orleans.
brother,
boy.
these people, they're cruel. For
And-
college,
Monsters,
that's so
monsters.
cool for college.
So cruel.
They'll all be
Unless
at
it's
the
your
wedding.
frat,
They'll all be at
And
the
which is
they're
like a
wedding.
They're
hazing
drunk.
thing, but for a dorm to do that, that's just
There's so-
cruel.
no,
Yeah, where you
freshmen are
never
still
met
immature
the
as
guy
fuck.
before. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's
Were they
the
going
number.
through your shit, or did you have it out? Like,
Okay, I made a mistake by putting it
You
on
left
the
it in a girl's bed.
anchovies. No. I put it like in a drawer,
Yeah.
and my buddy was looking for a lighter. Usually, I would hide it where you had to go through in like 9 different bags to find it.
Sure.
So I used it for the first time, and I put it in the drawer. And then my buddy, he's like, "What the?"
and you're walking around with a bigger dick right now, like so
Giant-
confident.
Yeah.
They don't know how well it works. Yeah, that's the shame.
Did it
worked
work?
decent. You had to clip it after you pump it.
What do you
Not
mean,
many
What?
people
clip it?
know-
Oh, clip your so the blood doesn't
The
leave.
blood
your dick.
stays in. Yeah.
So it pumps blood to your dick, so it
It's not
fills
like it's
up as much as
permanently
possible.
making your dick
And then
bigger?
you have to clamp your dick
Yeah.
so that the blood doesn't go back in your body.
And I
Sounds
don't
not
know where I
healthy.
put the clamp. It
First,
So it
so
came
you had
with
a
a clamp?
useless pump.
I believe it came with a clamp.
I don't
Yeah.
think that sounds like unhealthy for you to
Of
do.
course,
like,
but
it's
not
he was a
good.
freshman and he
And I had
wanted to
lotion
have a
in
bigger
it
dick.
too. It looked.
Oh yeah, because you're dealing with all those Cajun-sized dicks. like,
Yeah.
Oh, compared to well, I met a bunch of football players at Boston College, and they were like all 6'5". They were like going to the NFL, and they all had dick pumps. So they were like, it's like bench press, but for your
I
dick.
forgot that detail of it.
Yeah,
so
so
you've
I
been
was like,
encouraged by
yeah.
these big dick guys.
Yeah, and I was
Wow.
visiting Boston College. I was like hanging out with all these folks, and I was like, I got to get one right when I get home. And I found the one sex shop in my small town called Southern Exposure. and I went in.
That's because
It's still
Northern
there.
Exposure is only a TV show, right? There wasn't another phrase, so that's the only. That's what they made the entire.
I never
sex
thought about
shop
how witty
as a
it was
pun
back
off
then.
Of Northern Exposure, the TV show from the '90s, because Northern Exposure isn't something on its own, right? Outside of the TV show.
I guess other than like light in an apartment.
yeah,
no,
no.
it
The
was
one with the moose?
Being a rip, it would be like going right now to like Hung Sheldon.
There you go. Right away.
Bravo, that was so good. You're so right.
Yeah.
You could write for headlines.
Oh, easily.
That was perfect.
All right, now
so
that we're
witty at
halfway
that
through the
stuff.
podcast, I'm gonna put the headphones on.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, we have
Should
a
we all
couple
put 'em
minutes
on
left.
and just
Yeah,
see
let's
the
see.
final
let's
moment
hear the
drops
vibe
off?
change.
Yeah.
So we're back on. Yes, this becomes a more like just self-aware auditory moment.
Right.
You know, you just like hearing yourself.
Where do you clip the thing? Exactly.
Oh, at the base. I
At
would
the
think.
base. Well, I
Yeah.
kind of. You have to find a vein.
We're not talking about the headphones, by the way. We're back to the
no,
dick pump.
The
Dick
dick
pump.
pump.
Yeah.
You clip it at the base.
Is
You
it
start
like
at the-
two
it's like
sides?
base
What does
camp.
the clip look like?
Like a standard clip.
And then when do you show
Like
this to a
plastic?
woman? Do you unclamp it? And will there be a clamp mark
just like-
from like having it clamped all night at the bar?
No,
Like, it would be a
that's a good
severe
point.
dent.
No, you'd have to pump when you get home, which is a very.
And then you clamp it while you like. When do you?
There's no way to do it.
How long does it take to pump?
So wait,
not
is
as long as
she,
you
Couple minutes,
think.
is she like just on your bed as you're like pumping
Yeah,
away?
what was
You
the
want to know
plan?
something that's crazy? I never did it with a woman.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, isn't
That's
that
the least
crazy?
crazy thing I've ever heard.
Crazy. I honestly just did it to jerk off and not feel like my dick's small.
That would be
Yeah.
that would be nice though, probably.
Yeah, it was nice to finally have some meat in my hand.
Yeah. So it does. It did work.
Yeah, my hand could barely.
Okay.
You should have sat on your hand so that it felt like someone else was jerking someone else's
Gigantic
dick.
dick.
I sat on other guy's dick, so then he wouldn't feel my hand.
It was pumping your penis is the reverse, like what's it called?
The stranger.
Reverse stranger.
Yeah, the stranger.
You can keep your hand feeling, and your dick is
Yeah, you're just giving a hand job to someone else.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
Yeah,
that's so
honestly, it
funny.
didn't feel like a stranger's dick because there was blood in it.
Yeah,
for
well,
once.
the problem with male sex toys is that they're big, they're cumbersome because you guys have to like fuck things, and women's can have little like this is a little
Well, we have the fleshlight.
lipstick.
The pocket pussy.
And the
But
fleshlight
that's
is a
still
cumbersome
kinda-
thing that has a receptacle in it. You've got to wash
actually
it
seen
out.
one.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
We had one on Not Safe. I think it's like looks like a
I had one
Like
at
a
your
flashlight,
house.
I assume. and
no bigger, like a mag light.
a mag light.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a wrap gift water bottle you get.
Yeah, yes,
Like,
yes. Totally.
Yeah, I tried it. The sex toy. Well, it was the blowjob one, and it came with a mouth.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is like a battery operated
Wait,
thing.
did I
that would-
get
Yeah.
those for free?
Yeah,
Have you tried
yeah,
it? Oh
yeah,
my
it's
god,
very nice.
And
It was
did
very
it
nice
work?
present.
Did it feel good, or was it like a foot massager kind of thing where you're like, it's nice, but I'm not gonna use it all the time?
It was.
better with a real person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, my mouth
That's
works
it.
better than this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna actually write my vows. I'm pretty excited. It felt good. It's a little dry, but I like that. I don't know.
Was it like a porn star's mouth? Because I know they
Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
they
'Cause,
do
like,
those.
Yeah, it was Ron Jeremy. It came with the mustache, which was. I was like, dude, it's not gay though. It's not gay because there's no dick. It's just mouth, right? That's not gay if it's just a mouth.
No.
No, it could be anyone's
Right?
mouth.
Yeah, that's
Right?
true. If you can't see it, if you don't look down, and I can't believe you're gonna be married in less than a week. You're
Yeah,
gonna be
I'll have a
husband.
ring on my finger,
Oh my
which feels
God.
so adult.
This will be a 3-husband podcast when we all get together. I just realized you guys are all married. Which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I am.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool,
I
guys.
feel like you're gonna get married one of these days.
Yeah, I'm open to it. I think it's fun because you can get divorced, and that makes me feel.
There's always an out.
I have to say that's the biggest reason I want to get married. is
Yeah,
because
there's-
you can get divorced, and I love. If I were to marry Chris, I would not want to get a divorce, but because you can, I would be more likely to.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
literally never get married if you couldn't get a divorce, ever, 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 ever. I can't. Do you think people would?
I don't think so.
But people have kids, and you can't divorce those. They can divorce you if they're child actors in the 90s. But
That is true. They can reverse it on you.
but no. Do you think that if people would you?
If you were locked in and it was
if
like
you-
illegal.
Yep,
to
and you
get-
could.
yeah.
You will never be able to get out.
I mean, I
of
think
this.
a lot of women would get trapped in marriages just like in the olden days.
Yeah. Okay. And men.
In the olden days, it was like you would be forced to marry, and then it would be so shameful and societally forbidden to divorce that you would just be trapped.
Right. And people were getting married all the time, though, because there was nothing else to do. But now, do you think if they were trapped, would that still happen? Because there's more to do for women
Man,
and men.
I can see some people being like, even though it's illegal to divorce, you need to prove to me that you're committed and get married and force it.
It really isn't that. Like, it's a cool thing to do, and I like the party, and I like the ceremony, and I like saying how you feel about each other and establishing, like, we're doing this now, and if we want to stop doing it, it's going to be very inconvenient. But it isn't impossible. And that's why I am impressed when people when they don't do prenups. I think that's kind of as close as you
Ballsy.
can get.
We're not doing it.
I don't have a prenup either.
Yeah, I don't have a prenup.
I just don't expect to make that much money. So
Yeah, my wife makes more money than me.
Okay, well then maybe it was smart in your case.
I know, yeah. My wife and
We tricked them.
Yeah, we tricked.
all of our parents were in loveless marriages to the very end, so we just are assuming that is worst case scenario, and best case scenario is we love each other forever.
Yeah. Okay, because that's true. But I feel like, and I even with a prenup, I'm not someone who's like, I want all my money and I'm gonna fuck you over. Like I've even told Chris, like, if we get married, yes, we will have something in place, but I'm never like, if we decide to get married and do this, I know that you're gonna sacrifice so much to have us be successful with my career. And so I'll fucking take care of you if we decide to call it quits. You know I got you. Like, I'll do it. You would not, no one would get screwed marrying me.
Yeah.
I don't like those when they're like, I'm going to leave them with fucking nothing. And it's like, I have a whole new bit right now where I'm convincing women to let their husbands go to prostitutes. It's my new
Sure.
mission to be like, if you're not doing it, let them go. It's not a threat to you. And I think I'm going to prove a point in a way that might get people to be like, she's kind of right, maybe.
There might be a portion of the audience that then changes their mind.
I honestly think, I will say this weekend, after I did a joke about male babysitters being pedophiles, there was someone after the show, I did a meet and greet, and someone said, you changed a guy's life in the bathroom because we were at the urinals, and he was like, I got a male babysitter tonight. I'm like scared now. And I'm like, yes! And I didn't do the part of the bit that I'm glad I didn't, that is devastating, where I go like, you don't have to go home. I'm not going to say the joke, but I didn't mean to scare that guy that way, but also his kids are going to be way safer now if
How
he
many
never gets a male
prostitutes
babysitter
are you
again.
talking about? Like one a month?
However much he wants to come in a safe way that is not going to give you an infection.
Are you working on your vows right now?
And that's our show. Thank you so much for listening.
This is
We
why I'm
covered
using
so
ChatGPT.
No
Thank you,
change
Sean
with the headphones,
O'Connor.
I'd say.
Thank you, Andrew Collin. Yeah, no change. Same vibe. Brian Frange, Noah, sorry that we didn't get to talk to you today, but you were here in spirit, and I loved watching you laugh over there. Thanks, besties. We only have one episode this week. Is that okay to tell them? Yes, sorry. I just have a huge busy week. I'm doing promo shoot for the Golden Globes, so you'll start seeing those commercials. And I didn't have time to do 2, but you've gotten a couple weeks of 3, and so I feel like I deserve this break, even though I don't love it. So I'm so sorry, but check out my tour. Come see me. Lots more tour dates just added. NikkiGlaser.com/tour. I'll see you out there, and we'll see you next week on the show. Bye. Don't be stiff.